Three, two, one, and we're live. Welcome once again to HeroQuest fans. I was just explaining a moment ago. I just had a phone call there. Sorry, everybody. I am doing another playthrough of HeroQuest here using these homebrew rules that I'm tweaking and playtesting for solo play. And yes, there's many ways that you can play solo uh, with no Zargon character. I'm not using the companion app. I'm not using the rules posted on Yield either. I'm just using my own. But these are based very much on the game mechanics from Space Crusade, which I have played a few times now. What I'm using as the template for the quest is called The Maze, which was the original first quest of HeroQuest back in 1989. It was quickly replaced in the second edition and the North American edition by the Trial, which is the infamous, extremely hard first quest that everybody remembers. But anyway, it's a nice quest because it has a lot of empty rooms, very few monsters, which we're going to remove anyway and replace them with our own, with these shadow tiles. And you'll see as I play. So we've got the four heroes. We've got the Barbarian first. So yes, I'm using the remake here. And I did have the Mythic tier, not to brag. I'm just saying that I've got it. So the Wizard is going to have all the spells except for the Earth spells, which are going to the Elf. So the Elf is third after the Wizard. And then last of all is the Dwarf. And I have taken the tiles and I've modified them. So it's not just monsters and furniture now that are going to be drawn from this little bag, just like Scrabble. I'm going to pull out the tiles and it just looks like the Death Mist, very similar. Except you flip it over when it comes into view and oh look, it's a potion. So you draw from the potion deck. Equipment, draw from the equipment deck. Um, could be a piece of furniture, could be a vermin. So maybe just like a rat or something that runs away. But it keeps the surprises going. So anyway, welcome to everyone who joined us here in HeroQuest fans. We're going to see if this is going to take as long as it did last time. Hopefully not. Hopefully it won't take quite that long. And I think the light is just a little bit harsh there, so we're going to adjust it. But yeah, welcome to all our viewers. I already welcomed everybody, so welcome back. Thanks for your patience here as we get set up. Okay, so first things first, we've shuffled all our decks. We've got our character sheets. And I'm not using the remake character sheets. I'm just using these reprinted sheets that I use anyway for the game. And our barbarian is just going to start with his standard weapon, the broadsword, which is 3 attack dice. His name is Griff. He's got his 8 body points, 2 mind. The wizard is named Exodius. He's got a dagger, so just 1 attack die. And his standard 4 body and 6 mind. The elf is named Dream Girl, Grrl, girl, and she's got a short sword and the earth spells, 6 body, 4 mind. And oh yeah, and the wizard has all the rest of the spells, air, fire, water. And then the dwarf is white, so you got the white dwarf. He's got a short sword which is 2 attack, and then of course his 7 body, 3 mind. All right. And I may have to pause to pull out some of the extra furniture and things because I've got it all kind of crammed into those plastic candy trays that it originally came in. But we're going to put the treasure deck out. And then I've got on the Zargon player's turn, we've got these evil wizard like event type cards that we're going to draw randomly. Okay, and yes, I will be using the Zargon dice for the bad guys. These have the same exact distributions as the standard white combat dice. So these are just for the bad guys, just to make it easier to tell who's who. And they'll be using the remake dice for the heroes. And these really boring dice for the movement, which is what they give you. We'll see how well these square dice roll compared to the nice rounded corners. I mean, look at that. Look at the difference. See, it's got rounded and it's got square. Okay, and I had more to say about the Barbarian quest pack known as the Frozen Horror remake. I think as I'm setting up, I'm just going to talk about that just a little bit. So I kind of felt like, and maybe some people reacted negatively to my reaction. I mean, if you look at somebody like Amalgamash, he's much more positive. I'm much more cynical, but really, I'm not that way in real life. I mean, a lot of franchises have let me down lately. I mean, they remake something, they take advantage of your nostalgia, and then it's just not that good, or they ruin it, or they just forget what made it good in the first place, and it's just kind of forgettable. Sometimes it makes you embarrassed to be a fan. And yeah, you got people that go overboard. I never approve of people that make death threats. It's like, you know, they just, they want you to die because you ruined their fiction. It's like that's over the top. But I think sometimes people can use those random examples of crazy people online or people saying stupid stuff to say, "Oh, every fan that has any problem with what we're doing is therefore evil and toxic," which I think is similarly unfair. But the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So when it comes to Hero Quest, I hope that Avalon Hill is listening to the fans, not necessarily just the people who complain the loudest, but the people that make good points and point out issues. Um, because the Barbarian Quest pack, like the Elf Quest pack, has a lot of issues with it. I mean, yes, people want to buy it. People are nostalgic about the idea of buying it, but there's a lot of issues. And since I don't have enough closed doors for this, I'm just going to put out as many of those as I can, and then the rest are going to be just open doors. But the shadows can, which are the tiles, they can open doors on their own, really. And if anybody has any questions as we're playing, go ahead and post them in the chat there. If we're on Twitch here live, if on YouTube, just watch and learn. But yeah, I'll do my best to try to answer those questions. But you know me, I'll sometimes forget to look at it because I'll get so engrossed in what I'm doing. But I do appreciate you all coming to visit here, checking us out. And of course, you can also check out the Discord. Go to Ye Olde Inn, post there. And let's see, I'm just setting things up here. Again, this is all straight from the maze. So this is actually a Milton Bradley creation right here. I don't know if Stephen Baker himself wrote this one or what, but somebody over there did. And the original plot of this quest was you had the four heroes, each one started in a different quadrant, and they all just see who can find the staircase, and then whoever got out first got 100 gold, and your only enemies were orcs. So it's pretty basic, pretty lackluster. But it was supposed to be the first quest just to teach you how to play the game. But the thing is, the main point of the game is to work together, and it doesn't really teach you how to work together. It just tells you how to compete with each other. I think Stephen Baker in one of those interviews, he said something like, "Well, once people realize that they're supposed to work together, the game is easy. It's not that hard." He's talking about the base game. The expansions are another story. They really tried to crush you in those expansions, especially the later ones. Let's see. I think that should be. Nope, there's a couple more doors I missed. So that's in the European version, you can attack each other. You can use spells on each other. I mean, all of that is in there. And there's little practice missions in the instruction booklet of the first game, the first edition, where it's basically like a death match. You can fight each other and see who's tougher. But in the North American version, you're not allowed to do that. It's very hard to attack another player. I mean, unless you get taken over by a chaos spell command, and then you're forced to fight each other. Okay, so I think that's going to be it for those. I'll just set out some extra doors. But yeah, we're not even using the monsters that they've put out. We're going to put out our own monsters, as you'll see in a second here. So there's the overall view of the board. There we go. Just weren't lined up properly. So yeah, pretty much like that. And we've got our bag of tiles here. So every time, again, similar to Space Crusade, which was also designed by Stephen Baker and in cooperation with Games Workshop, that game was based on Warhammer 40,000's universe, whereas Hero Quest, of course, was based in Warhammer Fantasy's universe, third edition, which was the current edition as of 1989. And then with the new version, they've had to kind of scale back references and things. But yeah, as soon as a hero sets foot into a quadrant of the board, and which I've defined, see how the corridors go across. So that's one quadrant, 1/4 of the board. And if they go up to the next quadrant, it's that one, and so forth. And what we're going to do with this central room is we're actually going to divide it. So from here to here basically is within this quadrant, and so on and so forth. Now, if a piece of furniture gets discovered, but it ends up in a corridor or blocking a door, that piece of furniture just basically explodes. It's not even useful. It just goes away because otherwise it'll really goof things up. I'm also using these combat cards from Ye Olde Inn, actually on Phoenix's page, hosted on Ye Olde Inn. So HeroQuest by Phoenix.yeoldinn.com, and it's YeoldEinn. In the resources section. I really like them, but they're only for the heroes. So we're going to draw 2 for the barbarian. So he's got roundhouse and hidden reserves, and he can use those anytime. So that it's kind of like a magic spell or a potion, but it's for the pure combat heroes. The idea was to make it more interesting for them rather than just let the wizard and the elf have all the fun. And then for the dwarf, so for white, we've got slip and heroic sacrifice. Okay, and so we're going to put away the other combat cards because we're not using them. And luckily, since I know HeroQuest a little bit better than Space Crusade, having actually grown up playing it, I remember most of the stuff, and so it'll go a little more quickly. So okay, so if you're looking at your clocks, we're going to start, and hopefully we can get done in an hour or two here. So let me just check the stream real quick here to see if there's any questions or comments before we get going. But welcome everybody. All right, so since I've already read the rules out, I'm not going to read them again. You can consult our early video where we kind of did our first dry run of these new rules, but I will read the little introduction. So this is Mentor. My friends, I've discovered a new threat with the help of Lore Tome, a series of enemy strongholds filled with fierce monsters concealed in the darkness, plotting the overthrow of the Empire. The Emperor has promised to pay bounties in gold for the destruction of these monsters, but their exact size and strength is unknown. You will journey to the stronghold and enter through one of the 4 possible entrances. The only way out of the maze will be through this central spiral staircase. Each quadrant of the maze will reveal new shadows that could be monsters or harmless pieces of furniture, or something more. Should you succeed in clearing out the entire maze of these forces of chaos, the survivors who reach the stairway will be given an even greater reward. Tread carefully, my heroes. And a word of warning, the last 4 heroes that embarked on this quest never returned. So, and yes, I will be referring to Chaos and Chaos Warriors and stuff instead of Dread. So, cheers to not only Dead Gamer, but also cheers to Games Workshop, Citadel, Warhammer Fantasy, all that stuff from the legacy of HeroQuest. This is truly a hybrid game I'm playing here. And I will show you that I am punching out, finally, the actual tiles here. So here's your ASMR for the day. Just kidding. HeroQuest vibes. If I can get it to actually punch out. All right, so there's the staircase. The spiral staircase is revealed. It is right there in the room. As you can see on this custom board, it fits perfectly. This is not the remake board. This is a custom board based on the original. And we're going to punch out also the other tiles that we need here. Sorry, I thought this was already set up, but I forgot I hadn't done these. So we've got the, no, that's nothing. These are the double stone blocks. Trying to be all like ginger with them. As a kid, you would just smash through them and tear it in half, and whatever. So they punched out pretty well. Look at those rounded corners. I may have commented on that when we did our first unboxing. So yeah, I should clip out this part and put it in the HeroQuest Vibes playlist. So let's see, it calls for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stone blocks. Just print them out as we need, punch them out as we need them. Yeah, in the European version, they were just rubble, piles of rubble. But in the North American version, oh, that's a secret door. They were blocks, like bricks. We will need those secret doors because they will be placed out already. So yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, I don't mind if you fast forward because we're just setting up here still. Four. Can use that corner there. Yeah, you don't need extra doors for the secret doors. You just walk up to them and open them, and then you pass on through. Break on through to the other side. So yeah, everybody's done their unboxings of the remake HeroQuest, and it is in retail, so you can actually buy it. And they have not commented on the official. Officially, they haven't commented officially on the Frozen Horror remake since yesterday, or late the previous night, so March 31st. So we'll have to see what the official word is. I guess the only thing that Avalon Hill actually said on their Twitter page that I saw, that others reported, was that they said, well, we're going to have to double check if the prices and dates are accurate. Because the Scandinavian web pages were saying pre-orders, and yeah, it was going, well, was the pre-order going to start or was the delivery going to start? But something like that. It was like Q3 2022. So that'd be as late as September. Like the end of September would be the latest, if that's accurate. And that may not necessarily be for the whole world, just that region. And they were estimating about $50 based on the rate of exchange into US dollars from, I think, kroner, whatever they use. Forgive me if you're from there. I think some of our YouTube visitors are and can correct me on that, what money that they use. But yeah, about $50. And I'm assuming that it'll be exorbitant for shipping, just like it was for the regular game. I mean, it's about $30 shipping and handling with tax. Some regions it was cheaper. But yeah. So I think that should be all we need. Okay. So that's how many I had to punch out. And of course I will need these skulls for when we hit big monsters. So I'll just knock out a couple of those. Okay. These are what you use when the multi-body point monsters take damage. You put skulls underneath them, which is something that the European players never had. For the EU expansions, Wizards of Morkar and Against the Ogre Horde, you had these little check boxes on the quest book itself that you were supposed to write on in pencil, like saying like, oh, he's taken 1 damage, 2 damage, 3 damage, and it was only for certain monsters. I think the Dark Company had the same thing. Oh yeah, Striker667, welcome. Thanks to the Knights debacle, I picked up the expansion earlier than I planned. Oh, yeah. Now, Striker, thank you for your comment. When you say the expansion earlier than you planned, do you mean the Knights or do you mean something else? I don't have my Knights yet. I know that like I got mine from GameStop, or I ordered it back in November and still haven't received it yet. And I have half a mind just to just say, you know what, I'll just get a refund. I don't care. Let somebody else get my copy. But a deal's a deal, so yeah. I mean, they claimed that they were sorry and they weren't going to do it again. So hopefully the people in charge at Hasbro will let Avalon Hill release the Barbarian Quest pack as a full retail release, so it won't be this nonsense as a limited time exclusive or anything like that, and that they will know that hey, people actually do want this. Now I hope they release an errata, an errata, a list of the errors and quick fixes, and I'm going to do a quick video about that later on. I dropped a little piece, but I'll have to find it later. Oh, which Lord returns Keller's Keep? Yeah, yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying. Okay, not sure what's happening with my. Oh, that's funny. Look at that door. It's shaking. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Just had a. It's like my keyboard was going crazy. And it's like, oh, just because it was resting on the keyboard. In case they disappear and get picked up in bulk by scalpers. Okay. Yeah. Yes. So, as far as I understand, the remake Hero Quest game system, Keller's Keep and Return of the Witch Lord are just retail products. So these are not only for elite gamers. These are just like Monopoly and Haunting at Hill House and Risk. They're going to be in stores for the foreseeable future. I mean, not forever. I mean, maybe if they don't sell, they're just going to get rid of them. But yeah, they should be scalper proof at this point, is my thought. Now, it's true. I've gone to like Target, Walmart, which are the big retailers around here. I've gone to different game stores, hobby stores, and I have not seen HeroQuest on the shelves. So I don't know if that means they're only selling it online. I mean, COVID restrictions are lifted in a lot of places, so it's not like they have that as an excuse anymore. People do go to stores and buy things, so they could put them in stores. But yeah, if you want them, buy them. They're reasonably priced. I mean, $130 for the game system, which is more than we paid in the pledge drive. We only paid let's see, 150 for all three packs. But they're selling each of the expansions, Keller's Keep, Return of the Witch Lord, for like 32 to $35, depending on where you get it. And usually they'll say just like one to a customer or two to a customer. But I suppose a dedicated scalper could just create a fake account or create two accounts or have somebody else in their household buy like a couple. I mean, it's just silly. It's in the stores, so don't buy it from scalpers. I mean, Avalon Hill even said that. They said don't buy it from scalpers. So there's people out there that say, oh, it's just it's just capitalism, baby. You buy up the stuff and sell it for exorbitant prices to ignorant customers. Let the buyer beware. Even the company that makes it is saying don't do that. So hey, you decide what you want to do. But yeah, I didn't want to make this a rant video. I'll do a separate rant video. GameStop. Yeah, see, the thing is, our local GameStops were, I mean, I don't live on the coast, so maybe if you live on the coast, they've got everything. But our shops are smaller, and usually they have the absolute most popular stuff, and then sometimes they'll have obscure stuff. But I know, like, when it was ever like they do have a Warhammer store, which I'd never seen before my entire life. But it's like there's a Warhammer store locally, and most stores, though, you go in and say, "Oh yeah, do you have Warhammer Quest? It just came out last week." And they're just like, "Nope, it was all sold out the first day." It's like, "Oh great." Well, that doesn't make it easy to find. So anyway, all that aside, thank you for talking. I did the same thing to Strange Bus during his stream. I was like asking him questions and stuff, and he was trying to play games, and he's getting distracted by me. But yeah, it's all interactive. Okay, so you can start the timer here. So we are at, let's see, minute mark, almost exactly at 25 minutes. 25 minutes in. So we'll have to put the chapter here. So 25 minutes in, we are starting the quest. So we've got our 4 heroes. We're entering the stronghold. We're looking for the shadows. And we're going to be playing some hero quest here finally. All right. And the way I did it last time, it seemed to work pretty well. Is we had our little dice cam in the corner here. And I'm going to be dropping pieces everywhere because they're brand new and so they're like slick or they're stiff. Not like the classic set where it's all well worn. Okay, so there's our dice rolling box. Handmade. Yeah, Striker, no problem. Don't worry. If any of you guys want to ask a question, make a comment, go ahead. I won't necessarily stop the presses to answer it, but I don't want to feel like feel like you're being ignored either. Okay, so we're going to start off here. There's no other preparation needed. We've got the Barbarian Griff. He's going to go up and open the door. 9. So the door opens. 1. Okay, now this means we got to put out our shadow tokens, our shadow tiles. So we're going to take it out of the bag here, and I promise I'm not trying to cheat anybody. I'm not trying to cheat myself. So see, is it going to be green? Okay, so we're going to put out these tiles. So this is a room here, so we're going to put 1. Let's see, we should have, yeah, we're going to do 8 per quadrant. So before I was doing 16 per quadrant. That is ridiculous. And I've also mixed in a lot of non-monster options. So we're going to do 2 there, 2 here, right on the blood spot. 2, 4, 6. And yes, this is the Death Mist from Return of the Witch Lord. Classic version of it, not the remake version necessarily. 2, 4, 6, and then it should be 2 more for 8. Let's see, was that room real or fake? Yeah, I forgot a doorway. So that should be a door right there. So that's we definitely had enough rooms. Okay. Okay, so there's 8 of them. So I've not looked at these. I don't know what they are. All right, so the Barbarian only moved 1. He's got 9 left. Or 8 left. 1, so he knows those could be monsters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Open the door. Now he can see into the room. I'm still going to treat it as line of sight though until he actually enters the room. When you enter the room, everything's revealed. But um, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's got 2 more left. Okay, so we're going to flip that over, and it's a potion. Ta-da! We flip this over. Oh, and it's a zombie. Okay, so he's going to have to fight the zombie before he can safely look for a potion. So yes, we're using the remake set. So there's the somewhat disappointing, in my opinion, looking zombie right there. I mean, it looks like he's not ready to fight. He's just like, oh, I can barely lift the sword and shield, and he's totally exposed. But I guess they just didn't want to give him the giant cleaver. Now, the cleaver that the classic zombie holds. Sorry, I'm getting off track. I tend to do this, and this is why you love me, right? See that weapon? That's actually called a hog splitter. I always wondered what it was. I looked it up. It's a medieval butchering device that you use to cut a pig in half. So they've got a hog splitter, and that hole is so that you can easily hang it up. But it's just like a big axe, really. So kind of an impractical weapon, but nasty, very nasty. Because they're going to try to cut you in half with it. Okay, so I've got 2 more movement, and I don't have to worry about trap tiles necessarily. So, but he's still not going to be able to hit him. But he's going to be blocking the door. So let's say 1 and 2, because he can't move diagonally. All right, so that's the end of the Barbarian's turn. I'm going to try not to get these guys killed this time, but at the same time, I mean, these monsters are going to run towards the nearest hero. And I even put in a little clause there saying that if there's two heroes that are equidistant from a monster, both the heroes roll a red die, and the lowest roll is the one the monster goes for. Okay. 8. So the wizard is moving. He enters the board. This is Exodius. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This could be a big mistake. 8. And he's going to throw his dagger at the zombie because he's armed with a dagger. So either he's going to throw it away or it could kill him. So we're going to roll our 1 combat die. And it's a black shield, so he completely missed. So that dagger is going to be crossed off the list. It has been lost. I've got to remember where I put my pencil. There it is. So yeah, I need to start a Patreon. It's like buy me a bigger game table. Just kidding. But nothing ventured, nothing gained. Okay, next. We've got Dream Girl, the elf, the female elf. 6. So she starts in the usual place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and she doesn't even get to the door. It's okay. Now we've got White, the dwarf. I'll be here all day. Okay, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and he can't quite get in the door. So I made a mistake putting the wizard there. However, technically, the zombie is closer to the barbarian, so he's the one that's going to get attacked first. The meat shield, as they say. All right, now it is time for the Zargon player. But all the Zargon player gets to do is draw one of these cards, and then move the blip tokens, and then move any monsters and attack. So I have shuffled these. Okay, charge. Play this card immediately before moving a monster. Double the monster's movement for this turn. Read aloud the following text. The monster suddenly charges. Well, oh, I can use it for one of the blips or one of the shadows. Yeah, because I was going to move the zombie first, but now that I know that I've got that, that is the sort of thing Zargon would do. So that goes to the discard pile. So let's say one of these is going to have, normally these shadows move 5 squares, and if they're revealed and it's a monster that has extra movement left, he can move the rest of his movement. But if it's the maximum already or over, so let's say it's a mummy who only moves 4, he just doesn't get to move anymore until the next turn. So this is normally 5, so it's doubled. So 1, open the door. I'm just gonna swap out for these closed doors so you know they're closed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now he's revealed, and it's a mummy. Well, as I was just saying, he can't go anymore because that's the maximum movement. So we're gonna do the. He was gonna walk like an Egyptian, and there he is. Okay, and now these others are just gonna move their standard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, open the door. 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's in sight, so it's vermin. Vermin. So what that means is it's just a harmless little dungeon rat. It scurries around, tries to scare the heroes, and that's it. And it gets eaten by the mummy. So just a little decoy. And the used tokens are basically discarded, so I'm not going to put them back in the Scrabble bag. All right. This one moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn it over, and it's blank. It's just nothing. So it's just a ghostly phantasm of mist. So yes, there are fakes. 1, 2, open the door. 3, 4, 5. Is that in sight? I guess I'm thinking the wizard can see through there, so flip that over. Skeleton. It's the disappointing looking partially armored skeleton. Yeah, I'm giving my critique, I guess. If I didn't have the classic designs, I might be a little less harsh on these, but yeah, I mean some of them look really cool. Some of them kind of disappointing. I think the heroes are pretty decent, although the dwarf kind of looks like a giant baby with a beard, if I'm being honest. I heard that, laddie. Sorry, White. Okay. Now, this last one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And he's behind him. I'm going to say he can't be seen. He's too far out of range. Yeah. It's different when you're playing by yourself because you don't have any banter, between players. But so I'm doing the best I can here. Let's pull up the chat here. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Yes. Yes. So I think the only monsters that can normally open doors are Dark Warriors and the Wizards of Morkar. So basically, a couple of boss characters in the European sets. Well, and I guess if a hero was under command, he could open a door. But I've decided that yeah, the shadows, we don't even know what they are. They can open doors, but these other monsters, no, they can't. So yeah, it's a totally different. These are totally different rules than the remake. Totally different rules than any version of HeroQuest that's ever existed. Unless someone has coincidentally come up with the same solution I did. Yeah, if you go to Ye Olde End, there's other solo rules where like they created like room cards that randomly generate stuff. I just didn't want to do that. I wanted to do this. So anyway, yeah. Okay, so we moved all those guys, and yeah, I think I already moved these guys the maximum they can be moved, right? And once this is revealed, it's not going to move anymore. It's like the potion bottle was rolling down the rolling down the aisle, and it came to a rest. So it should be the hero's turn now. If anybody sees me make a really ridiculous mistake, please call it out. If it was too long ago, I'm just going to ignore it because hey, I make mistakes. But I'm really not trying. I mean, when I'm playing as the heroes, I'm trying for them to win. When I'm playing as the monsters, I'm trying for them to win. But I've purposely limited what Zargon can do so that it feels more like an automatic process. So it's more like I'm, actually playing the game rather than just pretending to play because otherwise Zargon would like be holding back or the heroes would know already what's going to happen because they can see the quest map because it's just one person playing. Okay, so Barbarian is going to go first for the heroes. 9, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3 and attack the zombie with his broadsword. 3 combat dice. All right, 2 skulls. And let's see, what do zombies attack with? Does anybody remember what zombies attack with? Or defend with, I should say. Okay, skeletons. I think what the wizard is going to do is 12. He's going to walk up 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's going to search for treasure, meaning that he picks up the potion. And for that, he collects the potion. We're actually going to have him draw from this custom deck of potion cards. And I have added a few to this, but it's mostly the one that you'd find on Ye Olde End's custom cards section. So draws a potion, potion of rejuvenation. That's a really good one. Regain up to 6 lost body points. Roll 1 red die to see how many body points. Well, I guess technically that's just the same as the 1d6 treasure one you get, but still it's good. So that goes to the wizard. And he can give that to anybody that's adjacent. So we'll say rejuvenation. Yeah, the North American version is termed Potion Hoarder Edition because you don't lose potions in between quests like you do in the European original. And you can also buy potions, so you can go crazy. But I decided to make the rule that you can't sell potions because otherwise it's just gonna be a major gold sink. But I've decided between quests you could use that 500. You could buy another copy of this if you wanted, if you can afford it. Okay, I'm seeing a network error. Oops, sorry about that. Thanks, Striker, for the warning. Okay, so what was the last thing I was saying, Striker? Do you recall? Did you see the wizard get the potion? Okay, in case I have to rewind. So the wizard just rolled and landed on that square there, searched for treasure, and he drew a potion card from the potion deck. And he got a potion of rejuvenation, which is the same as your treasure potion. Roll 1d6, and that's what you get. And between quests, I decided he can spend that 500 if he wants to get copies of it. So kind of like a impromptu alchemist shop. All right. Yeah, I should keep a better eye on that. I don't know. This is just a peak time, I guess. A lot of people are on. I hear people like honking their horns outside. So I don't know if they're having a good time. They're getting online, playing some games or something, streaming with their friends. Okay, so we did the wizard, and that was his action. So next we've got the elf. 9 for the she elf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She's blocking the door here. And she's going to attack that skeleton with her short sword. So 2 attack dice. It's a skeleton, so it defends with 2. All right, 1 skull. Skeleton defends. Blocked it. Yeah, skeletons like skulls, so it's a little insight into the skeleton mind, which is non-existent. I guess it's magical. I don't know. All right, finally the dwarf. Finally, the true star of our story. 9. Now he's got that mummy, so he really should go for the mummy because that's going to come the other way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up to the mummy. Let's give him a close up. Look at that. Getting right in his face. Look how big that axe is. It's like he could cut him in half easily. It's like as big as his head. All right, so he is going to attack, and even though it shows an axe, of course, he only has his starting weapon, his short sword, which is 2 dice. 1 skull, and of course, the mummy defends with 4. Standard mummy. No defense. So he takes 1 hit of damage, which means we put one of these skull tiles underneath him to show that he's damaged. Sorry about that. Just got things too close for comfort there. All right. So he damaged it. And now it is the Zargon's turn, the evil chaos turn. Yeah, we'll call it the chaos turn. Okay, so we'll draw one of these. It was before attacking the zombie. Yeah. Yeah, to answer your question, the zombie was killed by the barbarian and he got 20 gold for it. So, yeah. And then the wizard got the potion and so on and so forth. Okay. No escape. Play this card at any time. Well, we're going to play it immediately. Close any one open door to the board. The door cannot again be opened this round. Suddenly, the door slams shut. All right, well, I guess let's just say this door closes. Yeah, it doesn't benefit the heroes as much. So I suppose when doing the Zargon turn, you're going to say, well, what's the least beneficial to the heroes and most beneficial to the monsters? But yeah, there may be heroes that are reluctant to do that to themselves. But this is how I'm going to do it. What you could do is pick all the doors, roll dice, and then see like which one randomly is affected. I suppose would be the fair way to do it. You'd probably need some D&D dice, which I do have right here. I'm not a D&D player, but I've got the and some extras that don't normally come with the Dungeons and Dragons set. Polyhedral variety dice, cheap. Okay, so we did that. The door slammed shut, and now we've got one token here. I think what we're going to do first is the skeleton is going to attack the elf. Skeleton attacks with two skulls because he's a skeleton, of course. I rolled the hero dice. I meant to roll the monster dice. So just pretend that I did this. Pretend that I did that. Okay. They were just so inviting. Okay. So now the elf is rolling standard 2 in defense. Blocked one and got hit by the other. So first blood. So the elf Dream Girl takes 1, and she's down to 5 body points. Just a flesh wound. All right, so now the skeleton can move. So the skeleton is going to move 1 to the side, and this other shadow now is revealed, and it is a scroll. So that's, if you can get there, that's the reward, is a scroll. Scroll draw. All right. Okay, so other monster gets to go. So the mummy is going to attack the dwarf, and he attacks with 3 because the mummy attacks with 3 and defends with 4. Okay, so we got 1 skull. Dwarf defends with 2, no armor, and he got 1 white shield, so he blocked it. Is the mummy going to move? Yes, I think he will. He's going to move 1 that way, because this, which I almost forgot about, is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and he can't quite pass by him. Unless he moved 1 more. And you know what? I'm not going to fudge it just so that I can move him. It is what it is. Okay. Because that was my problem with Space Crusade. Like, I was new to the game. I didn't know the rules very well, didn't know them by heart. So I kept making mistakes, and I kept going back and trying to correct my mistakes. And the game just went on and on. Just took way longer than I planned. But I learned how to play the game, which was nice. And okay, so we did that, and now we've got the heroes again. So I just got to keep on track. Someone's sending me messages, but we're going to ignore that because we are streaming. As long as it's not an emergency. Welcome to our new people who joined us here on HeroQuest Fans. So we've got Action Shin is still here, Alien Gathering still here, another TV viewer is here, Caxips06 is here, Striker667, and We Love Marbles. But then we also have new people joining us. Lana Ray, welcome. And Midsoon is here. So welcome to the stream. We are playing HeroQuest, as you can see, and it is, we're doing these homebrew rules that I created, which are loosely inspired by Space Crusade. Sorry, just a second. All right. Okay, so where were we? Barbarian. But yeah, welcome to all our new people joining us. And yeah, we're not playing according to the standard rules of HeroQuest here, but I wanted to do this. I thought it would be interesting uh, for you guys to actually see some HeroQuest on HeroQuest fans. I mean, imagine that, right? I wanted to do this for a long time, but it's really hard to just get a game going. Let's see. Striker says we've been enjoying the new HeroQuest remake here using the app as Zargon. Yeah, I just don't have a reliable access to a smart device, and I don't really want one. So yeah, I could get a burner phone just to do it, but I just don't care that much. But hey, if it works for you, great. Okay, 8. But the thing is, this door can't be opened this round, so he's not going to be able to get out of there. I mean, yeah, they could force the issue by using Pass Through Rock, but of course, when am I ever going to use Pass Through Rock? Oh yeah, with this quest, there is a greater reward if we go to the stairs, because notice how everything's already put out. This is based on the maze, which was the original first quest of European Hero Quest back in '89. We can exit the quest anytime through that, but we don't get the reward unless we clear out all the monsters that are here. So we risk our lives for gold, I guess, but also to save the Empire from these evil monsters. So let's see. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't really do much. Ah, no, he can't really search for treasure because there's no furniture and there's no other tokens for him to search for. So I guess he's stuck. The elf, however, doesn't get to move yet because it's the wizard's turn. So the wizard's going to go 7. Now, does he risk it by going into the room? I don't think he's going to risk it this time. Because before he was a little too bold and he got himself killed. So, all right. Now the elf is going to go. 7. You need to plan to log your rules so we can try them out. Oh yes, yes. I keep forgetting. So thanks Striker. I've told people on Discord about my solo rules, but I haven't posted them on Ye Olde Inn. I will after this. I'll go ahead and post the PDF, which explains everything and has the printouts for the tiles. I gotta update it a little bit, but yeah, I'll post it and you guys can play with it, enjoy it, tweak it, critique it, whatever. Yeah. Okay. So I think the elf is going to go into the room because I don't have to worry about traps. 1, yeah, and block the door. And attack the skeleton with 2. 1 skull. Skeleton defends with 2. Oh, would have been perfect if it was an attack, but it wasn't. It's 2 skulls. I think there was a way to brighten this up a little bit. No, it's already at maximum brightness. Yeah, no problem. No problem. I want to help the community out. I mean, I know that when I create stuff, not everybody wants it. Not everybody likes it. Not everybody wants to play the game the way I do. But just like when somebody releases a mod and I'll maybe like um, tweak it until it's something that I want to use. By the same token, if somebody sees my thing and can improve upon it and, give credit where credit is due, but then release it, it's like great. If it inspires you, because HeroQuest is so easy to mod and it's all about the imagination and having a fun game. And other games can inspire you to do different things. Okay, so the skeleton failed to defend and was killed by the elf. So that's 10 gold collected by the elf. 10. I know I didn't cut it exactly straight there with my scissors. My hands were getting tired. Just write it on character sheet. That's her first bounty collected. I mean, well, they collect their bounties at the end of the quest, I should say, if they survive. Okay, so that was the elf's turn. Now the dwarf. So white is going to go over and he's going to attack the mummy with his short sword. 1 skull. Mummy defends with 4. Yeah. 2 black shields, so easily defended. Now he still has movement. Of course, if he moves, that other monster is going to be able to get in the way. I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because the mummy can only move 4 squares. Of course, whatever that is might be able to move more than that. We'll see. One thing I did notice is this pile can get kind of teetery because these tokens are smaller than the regular tiles. I did that on purpose so that they would work with any size board. And the blip tokens in Space Crusade are actually smaller than the squares. So that was kind of like the model. But anyway, just have to kind of adjust it there. Okay, so now it's the Zargon Chaos turn. So we'll draw the card. No more heroes. All heroes must roll a combat die. Anyone who roll a skull, should be rolls a skull, whoops, miss their next turn. The powers of chaos suddenly surge to overwhelming strength. Okay. All right, so we're going to start with the barbarian, see if he misses a turn. A roll of a skull means he misses a turn. Oh, he misses a turn. Okay. Wizard. He misses a turn. Elf. Elf doesn't miss a turn. Dwarf. Doesn't miss a turn. Okay, so the elf and the dwarf are okay. All right. All right, so we've got this blip token here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna move the mummy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, and this entrance door when they started from that was sealed shut as soon as they entered the quest. I forgot to say that. So they can't go back out through there. They got to go through the staircase up there if they want to get out alive. Okay. Now this shadow is going to move 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it still can't catch up. Now, should it be revealed because it's just hiding behind? Who knows? Maybe it's just the shadow of the mummy, right? I'm just going to say, just for dramatic effect. But you could hammer that out and decide, okay, as soon as it's in the same corridor, does it automatically revealed? Because if I reveal it, it might be a monster with extra movement. Yeah, let's just keep the surprise going. Okay, so we skipped the barbarian, skipped the wizard, now it's the elf. The elf is going to roll 4, search for treasure, and see what that scroll was. And that's going to go to the discard pile. So this time we're going to, so I already pulled the spell scrolls out of the artifact deck. And we're just going to draw one randomly here, just the top one. I did shuffle these. Spell scroll, Tempest. Okay, so it's just like the spell of Tempest, and this goes to the elf. So we'll just add that to her character sheet here. So Tempest. In the Barbarian Quest pack, you get to draw random spell scrolls. And I forget, do you get to do that in Keller's Keep as well? Possibly. But yeah, it's just whatever spell scrolls you happen to have at the time. Okay, so now the dwarf gets to go. 7. And just like regular Hero Quest, you don't have to move your full movement. Just 1, 2, and he's going to attack the mummy. Completely missed. No skulls. All right. Chaos turn. Creeping Darkness. No hero or mercenary may cast spells or use spell scrolls during the next round. Strange Darkness prevents you from using magic. Okay, got to remember that. No spells. Now, it doesn't say potions, but it does say spells or spell scrolls. Okay, now I've got this creature here, but he really can't go anywhere. But the mummy could move out of the way, and allow him to do so. 1, 2. All right, let's see what this is. This is in sight now. Flip it over. It's equipment. So it was just I don't know, maybe it was like a barrel that was rolling around that had some stuff in it. We'll see what's in it. But he can't search for it until he's cleared that corridor. Okay. I can't do anything else for the chaos turn. So back to the barbarian, who now has his turn. 4. And he can open that door. Oh, but he's so far away. 1, 2, 3, 4. He can, yeah, just barely do anything. Yeah, and there's really nothing there. It's just, okay, so we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to open that door. But since it's a secret door, you can just barely see it here. Secret door, there's really nothing to see. Have to move some of this stuff. Actually see what's going on. There, you can see that a little bit better. Okay, so that's what he did. Wizard. So I guess we're just going exploring. The wizard's going to go, oh, we only got 2. 1, 2. He's going to go back and back up the dwarf. Okay, elf. 9. So yeah, exploring is different with these rules. 1, 2. Have we reached the new quadrant yet? I don't think so. 3, 4. 5. Well, yeah, and so now that I've crossed over, this should initiate the new shadow tokens. So we'll reach into our secret bag here. We'll pull out 8 more tokens, make sure they're green side. And they're not supposed to be placed within sight. So they're supposed to be out of sight. So pretend that door is closed. Or actually, I could use this as a closed door. This isn't a special door in this case, it's just a closed door. So we'll say 1 there, another here. Oop. I saw it, so I'm going to pull it out. Yeah, green. I start to see the green, and I know that it's safe to pull it out. Just like Scrabble tiles. So with that, I guess you can put your finger over it. So let's see what it is. Now, since she's in that room already, I guess I'll have to improvise here. There, you see that, hopefully. And I got 2 more. Now, that's going to be solid rock in that corner because there's no doors to it. It's just a fake. It's not a real room. Okay, so we'll just say, you know what, nasty. There's going to be 4 in that room instead of just 2. Okay, so 8 there. Set that to the side. And yeah, you can just photocopy as many of these as you want. I wasn't going to tear into the new character sheet. I even just erased it from last time because I was so disgusted that I did so poorly. But it was because I had double the monsters. It was just way too hard. And there was no way to get equipment other than searching, which was going to be super rare. So, you know, it's a learning process. Okay, so we've placed all the blip tokens, and they can also be moved. Or no, sorry, what am I saying? No, that doesn't happen until the chaos turn. Okay, so the elf went. Let's see. She has still had movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Open the door, which means I'll close one of these other doors. They really should have all been closed doors, but I just don't have enough closed doors to do that. I guess I could print some just for fun. And now I can see into the room quite a bit. So we're gonna flip this one over and see what it is. It's an orc. An orc. Let's put an orc there. So one of these ugly guys. I think the orcs look pretty cool, but I mean they look like Lord of the Rings orcs or Warcraft orcs. They don't look like classic orcs. It's another one. But yeah, well, let's see what the other ones are here. So she can see that tile. Oh, it's a scroll. And technically she can see this one. So, oh, it's a mummy. So here, we'll use our mythic tier mummy there. I think she looks pretty cool, actually. And can she see this last one? I think so. Flip it over, it's another orc. Oh, so I do get to use this sword guy. All right, so a pretty full room. So 4 body points worth of monsters there. Careful. Tread carefully. Careful, warrior. All right. After the elf comes the dwarf. Way back here. So the dwarf is going to, might as well eliminate the threat because we got to take him out anyway. Move towards the mummy. 4, just barely enough. 1, 2. And attack the mummy with the short sword. 2 skulls. Mummy defends with 4 against the dwarf's attack. Oh, he didn't get any black shields. I know these are black dice, but monster shields, that thing. So no, he didn't get any, so he is killed. He is destroyed. He's dead again. And that's 50 gold coins for the dwarf. So quite a haul there. All right. Now, Chaos player's turn. You know the drill by now. Draw the card. Explosive enemy. Okay, right after the monster was killed, and it even shows a mummy. The monster explodes all over adjacent squares. Every figure hit is attacked with 1 combat die for each of the monster's body points. I guess that means starting points, not how many they had left. So it's 2 body points, but you may defend normally. The monster explodes in a cloud of jagged bones and teeth. Okay. So since we just killed that mummy, it had 2 body points. We're going to roll 2 attack dice against the dwarf. 2 skulls. Now he defends normally, it says, so defend with 2. And I blocked 1 and got hit by the other. So the dwarf has taken his first wound, so he's down to 6 body points from that mummy that blew up in his face. All right, now I get to move my... And I know he's standing on the equipment, but he doesn't get to draw it yet. He has to use an action to search for it. He just knows that there's something like that in the area. Normally picking things up is not an action. I just decided to do it this way, just to make it more complicated. Okay. So the existing monsters get to move. So let's focus our attention over here to this room here. My camera will reach. Get in on the action. Okay, so we've got all kinds of danger there. All right, so the mummy's the strongest, but she's gonna block the door. All right, that's okay. Monster that's the closest. Well, it's the closest hero. You know what? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's kind of awkward, but it works. It's called Hero Quest Yoga. You stretch over the board. Just kidding. All right. So the monster is going to attack with 3, attacking the elf. Three skulls. Wow. Deadly. Deadly attack. Elf only defends with 2. No defense. So 3 hits. So she is down to 2. Dream Girl is down to 2. Now she does have Heal Body, Earth spell that can kick in if she gets killed to revive her. Because these are the North American rules. You can do that. We still don't know what the Wandering Monster is yet. All right. Hasn't come up yet. Okay, so the other orcs, they're just going to move, I guess. The elf has no offensive spell, so 1, 2. Get that axe out of my face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like not going to let you get that scroll. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, if you had to go around it. And now I do get to move these shadows. I'm forgetting about these shadows in the corner. So 1, 2, we're opening the door. Just swap the doors. 3, wait, why did I do that? 4, 5. There's nowhere to go because the room is not connected. 1, 2, 3, open the door. Was it here? Was it? Where was it really? Yeah, it was in the middle. 4, 5. Yeah, I can go around. Let's see. Okay, so it's way over there. Yeah, so you can see in the corner there. That's where it went. And this one is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it can't go through all the way through the door. Okay, that's all the chaos player can do. All the damage they can do. Okay, now it's time for the heroes to shine or see what they can do. So the barbarian is here. Griff the barbarian. So now he can just step right through that door, but first he's got to see how much he rolls in movement. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just back up the elf there. Wizard. 9. His equipment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so the Exodius is standing on the secret door area, but there he is. Elf, she's going to attack first before moving. Attack the mummy with the short sword. 2 attack dice. Missed. But she's going to move out of the way. 10. Probably block the door. 1, 2, 3, blocking the door to protect the wizard. And now the dwarf is going to, well, for his, yeah, he's so far away he can't do much. Let's see what he gets for movement. 11. That's pretty good. Yeah, he can go pretty far. But first he's going to, oh, Help if you could see him. Okay, back here. So he's on top of that equipment. He's going to search for treasure, and he's going to draw an equipment card. So I have shuffled this deck. So we're going to draw and see what we get. Crossbow. Hey, a weapon. So that's 3 attack ranged. And I'm going to interpret this in light of the Japanese rule that says that it's not meant to be able to attack the surrounding squares, meaning the 4 diagonals. So that would be this square, that square, that square. But as long as there's one extra square in between, he can attack it. So there, there, there. Yeah, but the 8 surrounding squares can't be attacked. So we're going to put that in the discard. Actually, we're going to just put it, since you've got extras of these. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. The deck is different because there's duplicates of certain ones. So he's got a crossbow. So he would have 3 attack at range. I don't consider those diagonal squares to be at range. Other people disagree. You play it the way that you think is right. Can't use the secret door to get into that room with the monsters fighting the elf. Well, let's see what we're talking about here, Striker. So this secret door connects this room to this corridor. This secret door connects this corridor to this room. Is that what you meant? I'm just thinking that the monsters could go around and attack the other heroes, so maybe it'd be more strategic to do it that way. Is that what you meant? My monster blips. Did I miss something here? Oh, you're saying these monsters could come in and attack. Yes. Yes, you're right. Thanks. They're going the long way around. You're absolutely right. You know, Zargon, he's an old guy. He's been around a long time. He doesn't catch everything. Thank you. So I guess you're working for the forces of chaos tonight. Good eye. Good catch. Yeah, see, back in the old days, I would have just used a door frame for that, and I would have known right away. But it's like, your eye kind of goes over it and doesn't see it. But you're 100% right. Okay. So he got that equipment, so we're going to remove the equipment. Move the equipment tile. It's been used up. And now he can move. He can move 11. 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Open the door. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Just raise that up. See a little more. Central room. Okay. Okay. So now it's the chaos player's turn. First, we'll draw the card. If I don't draw the card first, I'm going to forget. Plus, it kind of guides the way the rest of the turn goes. Lost loot. Randomly pick a hero. That hero loses 50 gold. Subtract the gold from the hero's total. Suddenly, you spot a hole in your pocket. Now, the only thing is, this doesn't quite make sense because they're not actually collecting gold. They're collecting bounties. So for each bounty, you get paid at the end. Maybe you pulled like a tooth or you cut off their ear. I don't know. You took a memento, a trophy. You took their skull or something like the Predator. So I guess you lose one of those. But you lose the amount that is equivalent to 50 gold. That really hurts. So, well, I guess it's going to be the dwarf because he happens to have a 50. So he's going to lose 50. We'll just scratch that off. I know. Now, what I could have done is just rolled a 4-sided die to see who it actually applied to, but then we'd have to do fractions. It'd be kind of weird. It's like, well, you only killed half of a monster, so you only get half of that. So that was my creative interpretation. Okay, so now taking Striker's advice, thank you for Zargon's assistant, Chaos assistant. We're going to move these shadows. 1, 2, open the door. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they can't really attack the heroes, but they could pass through that mummy if they had enough movement and get into the room to attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on top of the secret door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, we don't know what these monsters are. They might not have much intelligence, but Zargon is guiding them with his evil powers, his evil lore tome copy. Bootleg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so none of those are revealed yet. But these monsters are perfectly capable of attacking. So the mummy is going to move into the room, and she's going to come after the barbarian here. All right, so the mummy is attacking the barbarian with 3. 1 skull. Barbarian defends with 2. He blocks it. Next, the orc with the axe is going to move into the room. Doesn't matter what weapon they have, but just pointing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to flank the elf and attack the elf with 3, because yes, orcs attack with 3. They're a common enemy, but they're actually pretty... Wow, look at that. 3 skulls. They can be pretty powerful. Okay, and the elf defends with 2. Should have used her rock skin. Of course, the last time I used the rock skin and then promptly fell into a trap and immediately lost it. Oh well. No defense. Wow. Wow. The elf is the first casualty. The first fatality on the hero side. 0. But since she does have heal body, she immediately revives with 4. So that's used up. So scratch 1 earth power. And she comes back with 4. Like, huh? Hope you enjoyed that voice acting there. Okay. Now the other orc is gonna come into the room. Now notice how these blip tokens or these shadow tokens, they're not quite as small as the Space Crusade ones compared to the bases. Space Crusade figures have really big bases, and I think it actually fits underneath and it kind of like drags it along as you're playing. So it didn't quite turn out that well here. I mean, I have to make them really tiny, and I wasn't willing to do that, so that's how it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's add insult to injury and another injury and attack the elf again with that orc. So he's got 3 attack dice. It's the elf. 1 skull. She defends with 2. No defense. Wow, getting some bad rolls tonight. Okay, down to 3. Dream Girl. She's going to be going to Dreamland. All right, so my blips, my evil tokens, my shadows. I think they've all moved as much as they can this turn. Waiting for Striker to correct me. I'm just kidding. Yeah, if you see me do something blatant like that, I do appreciate the correction. Notification. Uncle Zargon, you forgot. I was getting to that, young one. All right. Okay, heroes. So we're kind of in a spot here. The barbarian is probably going to need to take out the strongest monster. So we're going to start with the. You know what? I violated my own rule. They shouldn't have gone after the elf. They should have gone after the closest hero. So they should have gone after the barbarian. You know what? We're just going to just let it go. But normally, what should have happened is they should have attacked the barbarian, and then the elf is in the way. So yeah, I guess the closest in that sense. So she would have gotten attacked once, but she wouldn't have taken as much damage as she did. You know what? It is possible to reverse it. So we'll say that this one attacked, killed her, she came back. This one actually attacked the barbarian, and he took the 2 damage. I know it seems it. I don't want to start down this path of doing all this, these second guessing and correcting. So we'll say that Dream Girl has 4, and the barbarian Griff, he lost 1. Normally he wouldn't have lost any. He's down to 7. Okay, but from now on I just got to remember my own rules. Because again, it's supposed to take the guesswork out of it. Because otherwise you're doing what benefits you rather than, the automated process. Okay. So all those monsters did what they could. Elf was damaged. Yeah, okay. So now it should be the hero's turn. Yeah. Okay, so the barbarian is going to attack the mummy with 3. Okay, 2 skulls, and the mummy defends with 4. He killed it. So the barbarian wiped out the mummy and got 50 gold. Or a bounty worth 50 gold, should say. Because that's really what it is. So he took a strip of bandages or something. All right. And then he can move. However, should he? He could block the door to stop more monsters from coming in. So 9. 1. So he's going to block the door. The old door blocking technique. So there's different ways to counteract that. One is to give the monsters diagonal weapons and ranged weapons. But yeah, haven't done that here. I mean, they're fighting for their lives. They really are. So next is the wizard. Now the wizard is in position. He could use magic if he wanted to. Now he has no way of knowing what those shadows actually are. Does he use courage yet or not? I think he's going to, for now, he's going to stay put. I know, the conservative wizard, holding back. That means we move on to the elf. The elf is going to attack that first orc, the orc above. She's going to attack with 2. And I've just got to remember that the dwarf has a crossbow. Okay, 1 skull, and the orc only defends with 2. That's that 1 skull, but he's only got 1 body point. And he defended, because he got a monster shield, or Bunny of Immortal Evil, right? Now she could move, but I think she's going to stay put. Now the dwarf is going to go. So the white dwarf, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he can move into position, but he can't use his crossbow, so he's just be using a short sword. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, yeah, he can't see the monster yet. Well, or could he? No, it's kind of off center, off angle. Well, actually, he can see this shadow here. So I'll flip that one over. It's a skeleton. So let's use one of these mythic skeletons here. I think that's the female skeleton, but no one can disprove or prove my point. Okay. Well, and if he can see the skeleton, he can shoot at it because that scroll is just laying on the ground. He's just can shoot right over the top of it. So yeah, he's gonna shoot his crossbow at the skeleton. How interesting. So he shoots with 3, and even though it's got a shield and armor, it's just a standard skeleton. 2 skulls, and skeleton defends with 2, and it doesn't block anything, so it's killed. It's destroyed. So 10 more gold to kind of rebuild his stash that he lost from that card. So he's got 20. All right, with few interruptions, we've been playing for over an hour and a half. So let's see what we can do now. So the dwarf went, and he's going to stay where he's at. So chaos player, undead hero. Play it if you reveal a skeleton, zombie, or mummy. Anyone skeleton, blah blah blah. Yeah, he would have had better defense. But since I drew the card after the monster was revealed, I guess it doesn't matter. But if one of these shadows ends up being an undead creature, I could say that the effect happens. So let's see. Oh, this one is right here. Oh, this one should have been revealed already. Equipment. Yeah, because the barbarian is in the doorway. I goofed up there. So that's equipment. 1, 2, 3. Potion. Okay, so no monsters in that room. Just stuff that might be useful. Okay, well, my monsters are going to try to fight now. So this orc could attack the dwarf, or could attack the elf. So to determine who attacks, we're going to say this is the dwarf rolling. He gets a 4. This is the elf rolling. Gets a 5. Dwarf, elf. So the dwarf gets attacked. So the orc attacks the dwarf, which he was going to do anyway, but I just want to do the rule. I rolled hero dice. I should have rolled Zargon dice, but I'll take the roll. That's three skulls against the dwarf. The dwarf rolls defense, blocked 2 of them and took 1 more. So the dwarf is down to 5 body points now. That orc can still move, but where is he going to go? It's like they're just going to get in position. So there's really no point in him moving, I guess. This other orc is going to attack the elf because the elf is closest. He attacks with 3. 1 skull. Elf defends with 2. I haven't x-rayed these dice to see if they're loaded, but they should be normal. Okay, no defense. The elf loses 1. Dream Girl down to 3 for real this time. She does have a Tempest spell scroll. I gotta remember that. All right, next, hero's turn. So the barbarian, roll his movement. 8, 1, He's going to attack that first orc there with 2, his short sword, or broadsword. Well, he got 2 skulls there, and what's the third one? A third skull. So he got 3 skulls. Is there any point? Because they only defend with 2. There's no way. Yeah, he's dead. So he killed that orc, collected himself 20 on that bounty. So Barbarian is cleaning up, predictably. All right, Wizard. I think he can finally walk into that room without fear. 1, 2, into the corner. Okay, so all the heroes are together in one room. Perfect time for a bomb to go off on them, right? Okay, next is the elf. The elf is going to attack the orc that's right there with 2. If she doesn't finish him off, the crossbow surely will. 1 skull. He defends with 2. No defense. That orc is killed. 20 gold bounty for the elf. All right, now the dwarf. So he's just going to go ahead and head into that room. See what he can find. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he's going to search for treasure and see what that equipment is. So, and I'm not shuffling the deck every single time in this case. I just shuffled it once at the start of the quest. That's how I play with all these. Battle axe. Hey. Okay, so he's collecting all kinds of weapons here. Now, weapons are just like anything else. You can give them away if you want. But he now has a crossbow and a battle axe, along with his short sword. So that means he can attack with 4 now, or 3 at range. Okay, Chaos player. Monster Shield. Is any servant of chaos? This is one that I created. Yeah, there's really nobody to give it to, so, or to use it on. It's kind of a funny way for a boss monster to stay alive. He just throws one of his lackeys in the way, and they take the hit. But it's just a reprieve for the good guys this time. Okay, and I do have a shadow to move. 1 shadow. 1, 2, open the door. 3, it's a skeleton. 4, skeletons can move quite a bit. 5, 6, yeah, but he's just going to attack the closest enemy there. And say he just attacks the dwarf there. 1 skull. Dwarf defends. And he takes 1 body point of damage. He's down to 4. Okay, is there anything else I can do? I don't think so. So, all right, back to heroes. So the barbarian is going to turn around, try to help his comrade there. Comrade in arms. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Attacking the skeleton with his broadsword. 3 dice. 2 skulls. Skeleton defends with 2. No defense. He killed it. He's getting all kinds of points. That broadsword is really helping out. But the dwarf may be catching up with his battle axe. So 10 more gold. I almost said points. 10 more gold for the barbarian. I should also write down what combat cards he has. So the barbarian has hidden reserves. That's a healing. She hasn't needed yet. It only works on himself. And then roundhouse. which works with any two-handed axe or sword. With a two-handed sword or axe, may strike all adjacent enemies with a single attack. So he doesn't even have the right weapon for that. Now the dwarf could give him the battle axe so he could do that. I might do that actually. Yeah, on a future turn. Okay. And then the dwarf, he has 2 combat cards. He has Slip and Heroic Sacrifice. Heroic Sacrifice it's kind of like the opposite of the Monster Shield. And so instead of throwing somebody in the way to take the hit that was meant for you, you're throwing yourself in the way to block the hit that was intended for them to save their life. But you got to be close by. Got to be adjacent. Heroic Sacrifice. And Slip is basically just like Veil of Mist. You just can move through a monster one turn anyway. Okay, so after the Barbarian, we've got the Wizard. Seven. Gonna go into this other room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he's eyeing that magic scroll. So he's gonna search for treasure and see what scroll he gets out of the spell scroll pile here, out of these artifacts that I shuffled at the start. Spell scroll Sleep. Sleep is a really good one. So he's now got 2 instances of Sleep. Now, since this is an item, he can actually give it to an adjacent hero on his turn. Whereas a spell, you can't do that. So that is one benefit of spell scrolls, and anybody can use them according to the rules. Okay. After the wizard comes the elf. The elf herself. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and she's going to search for treasure to try to get a potion. So we're going to take out the potion deck again here, homebrew deck. Potion of Frost Skin. Only the Barbarian is affected by this slushy drink. Enables Barbarian to roll 2 extra combat dice when defending against attacks. So she didn't even get what she wanted. Fine. She's just going to pass it to the wizard. And on his turn, he can pass it to the Barbarian. So the wizard's got Potion of Frost Skin. So it's 2 defense. I mean, that's good. That's obviously from the Frozen Horror that's drawn from. Alchemist Shop, Frozen Horror Barbarian Quest Pack. Okay, after the wizard comes the elf. Or, sorry, the elf already went. Excuse me. After the elf, well, she moved to get in the room. Okay, the dwarf is the last person. Oh, yeah, and I should remove these tokens because they've all been grabbed. All been used up. Okay, so the dwarf, let's see, he'll just do movement. 9. 1, 2, 3, and he's gonna pass his battle axe to the barbarian. So the barbarian now has a battle axe, which would give him 4. Now, when you have the 2 heroes adjacent to each other, it doesn't say they can just start exchanging gear. That's how I used to play it, and it's like technically wrong. It's on your turn you can pass 1 item to the other person. That's it. It says, like, for example, 1 potion. It doesn't say multiple potions. It doesn't say that you could start like a trade war with them. I mean, unless you homebrew it. So yeah, Hero Quest, you can pretty much do whatever you want, but try to be consistent, agree upon it. Some GMs are really flexible, and others are just more by the book. I tend to be more by the book. I forget. Did you use that power-up card on the skeleton? No, I didn't. I just used the regular. I was just mentioning that I had them. Good question, Striker. Yeah, sometimes when you're playing like this, it is possible to kind of forget what powers you have because you're managing so much stuff. I mean, I'm managing all these spells and all these um, artifacts and potions and things. So, good question though. I'm choosing not to use it yet. Okay, so Chaos Player is next. Frenzy. Anyone green skin may attack twice this turn. Well, there aren't any. So, sadly, for the bad guys. In fact, there's really nothing for the bad guys to do until they get to those last two quadrants of the board, which is their goal. I mean, they're supposed to explore everything to kill all the monsters. And until they've explored those four quadrants, they don't know if they've done it or not. And wandering monsters count too, so if they discover one, they can't just run away and still get the reward. So, all right, back to the barbarian. 6. But first, the barbarian is going to pass to the dwarf the broadsword. So crossing off the broadsword. So now the barbarian only has the battle axe of 4, and he's going to give the broadsword to the dwarf. And so the dwarf now has ranged 3 and close up 3. Yep, so it took 2 turns to do that. But now he's going to move. Let's see. He's going to take, I guess, the long way. That way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There. So it's just one above the doorway there. Since I'm playing by myself, I don't have to like ask all the other players. So you pulled one earlier, but the Skella died before the pull. Oh yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Um, this one, this undead hero, right? For the pull. Okay. So just keeping me honest there. Thank you. Yeah, because otherwise he should have rolled with. He would have counted. He rolled like a hero, so it's like he's using blue dice or he's rolling white shields for defense. Yeah, so it's like double defense. But yeah, good point. Yeah, thanks, Striker. All right, so after the barbarian comes the wizard. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Up to the door. Open the door. Ba boom. I guess it was already open technically because the shadows were roaming around, opening doors willy nilly. Elf. 3. 1, 2, 3. You know what? She's gonna cast Rock Skin on herself because she's been in some bad scrapes and doesn't want to take any more of that nasty damage. So that means 1 extra combat die when defending. Let's just focus. There we go. Focus. Yeah, 1 extra. And the European version is 2, and this one is just 1. So I haven't upgraded anybody with the upgrade system because they haven't completed any quests, these particular characters. These are brand new characters. All right, so that is in place. So we'll say rock skin +1 for the elf. And it lasts until she takes 1 damage, 1 body point of damage. All right, dwarf. 2. Getting these low rolls now. Refocus. Okay. 1, 2. There he is. All right. Chaos player. Raise dead. Place one monster that was slain during the last round back on the board on the location where it died. Death seems to have come too early for some. Interesting. So does that mean that you don't get the bounty unless you kill him the second time? I'm going to say the second time they come back is just a bonus. That's just an executive decision. Okay, so the skeleton comes back, right? It was the skeleton was the last one. Anybody confirm skeleton? On the spot where it was slain. Oh boy, where was it killed? I'm forgetting. Was it in the corner? Uh, hmm. It was in this room during the last round. Or did I not have any monsters that round? I'm just going to make an executive decision. Just say that there was a skeleton there. I could be wrong about that. You can rewind the tape and see if I made a mistake and just created a monster out of thin air. Doesn't say it gets to attack, just says he's on there. But since it is my turn and I have nothing else to do as Zargon, he's going to attack. Attacking the elf with 2. Now she gets extra defense. Now use Dead Hero. Well, that's the thing. Originally with these cards, Zargon could have 3 of them like in reserve and just use them whenever. But the way I'm doing it with these is that you just put it out and you use it in that round. And if you can't use it, just the next one goes on top. But yes, you would be correct with the default rules. The way they were intended is with these, you would have 3 and you could use them. Because yeah, I could use one of those. Well, this one would be used, and then I have but no. If you want to play it that way when you play, go for it. Because see, if you had a person to control Zargon, they would just do whatever they wanted, pretty much. Okay, so skeleton attacks with 2. Completely missed. Now, if this were Space Crusade, the elf would get to retaliate and potentially kill the skeleton, even though it's not her turn. The skeleton can move 7, I believe. In the European version, it can only move 4, I want to say. Is it 7? I think it's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's prevent her from escaping, I guess. Not that she's going to go that way anyway, but they have to chase the monsters down and wipe them out to win the quest. Okay, so now we've got heroes again. We're almost to the 2-hour mark. 9. I did spend some time chit-chatting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Barbarian is going to attack with his mighty battle axe. So he's not going to let that skeleton get away this time. Even though there's no gold involved, that's the principle of the thing. 1 skull after all that. And it defends with 2. It actually blocked it. Amazing. Okay, so the after that, see, no one else is going to get to attack, but the barbarian's fine. He's got 7 body points. So the wizard, 10. Actually, he could go back and heal. Yeah, that's what he should do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And he's going to hand a potion of rejuvenation to the elf. Now it doesn't work automatically. It's an item. Now potions, just like spells, if you die holding them, they automatically kick in to save you. So that's changed hands there. Okay, so being a hero. Part of being a hero is helping out your fellow hero. Elf. 6. Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up there. And she's going to go ahead and use that potion. Well, actually, she can just wait. She's not going to use it yet. Maybe wait till she's down to 2 or 1 and use it, because she's got 6 maximum to try to get the full effect. Actually, am I wrong about that? No, it's a D6. So actually, for all I know, it could be just 1, or it could be up to 6. Still, I think she's going to wait. She's going to wait. So you come back from death with 1, or you come back with full, or anything in between. Okay, dwarf. Yes, it takes longer when you're controlling 4 heroes. It certainly does. 5, dwarf. You can't really shoot through. But wait a minute. If he was right here, could he shoot through the doorway and hit? Or is it considered that the barbarian's in the way? Like if he was here, could he shoot him through the doorway with his crossbow? Anybody, any thoughts? Okay, we're going to do it. We're going to solve it the Space Crusade way, which is you roll a die, and if it's a skull, he can hit him. If not, he can't. But first we'll move him just to keep us honest. 8. 1, 2, 3. He's going to fire a crossbow, but first we'll see. If it's a skull, he can hit him. If it's anything else, he can't. It's a skull. He can hit him. All right. Later we can rewind the tape and go, no, I should never have done that. Okay. There's a 50% chance. Shooting at the skeleton, I totally missed anyway. So, all right. Okay. Chaos turn. Chaotic defense. Here's another one that I made. And yeah, once again using Lord of the Rings lore. So, the time he drinks his foul concoction until the end of the quest, a character may substitute blue dice in all of his defensive rolls except when defending against skills. Okay. So, yeah. Skeleton's going to use that. Somehow he drinks a potion. Somehow it actually goes down his throat. I guess just like in the last unicorn, I suppose. It worked. I just got to find where I put all my fancy dice. There we are. Underneath my HeroQuest novels. Can you tell I'm a HeroQuest fan? Okay. So blue dice are just like white dice. This Spielwarn Saloon from Germany. But you'll notice there's 3 skulls there, a white shield, a black shield, and a black shield. So it's double the chance. I know, it's just like the Undead Hero, like counting white shields for bad guys, but it's just cool, just visually. So, yeah, so he uses this chaotic defense. This jug of black liqueur gives a servant of chaos a powerful boost in defensive prowess. So to the end of the quest, he gets to roll blue dice. So 2 blue dice. Unless he's being attacked with magic. So just keep that in mind. All right, so Chaos player now, the skeleton is going to go ahead and attack. Now he attacks just normally with 2 dice against the barbarian. 2 skulls. Barbarian defends with 2. Blocked 1 and got hit by the other. So now he is down to 6. body points. Let's get a swig of water. Cheers, Dead Gamer. Check out Dead Gamer on YouTube. Pretty cool guy. He likes to cover old school board games even more than I do. Tabletop gaming and paint and do other cool stuff like that. He did really good, really helpful unboxing of this game as well, the remake. So check him out. Support him. If you like his stuff, sub and all that good stuff. Let's see. So he attacked. Successful hit. Now he could run away some more because he's such a coward. Now as a skeleton rather than a shadow, he can't open a door. So he can't like open that closed door there. This is a closed door. So he can't go out that way, but he could go through the secret door. Of course, they could head him off on the other side. Leads them on a merry chase. So they do have self-preservation, apparently. Oh, I guess he can't go around that way. He could go around the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess the thought would be he could lead them into a trap where other monsters are around. There we go. Okay, hope everyone's doing well tonight. Let me just check the stream. Oh, we've got Erica FNBR. Fun Bear, maybe? Anyway, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us here on HeroQuest Fans. We've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That might be some kind of record for me. Eight viewers, if I'm seeing everybody. So thank you, everybody who joined. So yeah, we're playing with these custom rules here on HeroQuest Fans. Trying to use kind of like the Space Crusade blip tokens, if you know anything about that. Except these are shadows that generate monsters randomly. So this quest is based on The Maze, created by Milton Bradley Hasbro back in the day, 1989, and you can get it off of Phoenix's page, or if you have the European first edition, UK first edition of HeroQuest, it's the first quest, but we use the layout, just change the monsters. So basically it's randomly generated monsters is how it's working tonight. All right. So the skeleton ran away, bravely ran away. And he's got this chaotic defense. So he's actually got stronger defense even than a regular skeleton. So a lot of homebrew stuff being used tonight. All right, Barbarian gets 12 boxcars. So he can easily track down that skeleton and take him out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right in his bony grill. It's like he's staring death in the face. Maybe death will be staring death in the face. All right. And he's going to attack him with his battle axe, because he has a battle axe now, that the dwarf gave him. 2 skulls. And now, as I pointed out, with the chaotic defense, he's using blue dice, which are like heroic dice for monsters defense. So twice as much chance of him getting black shields to defend against those 2 skulls, which he'll certainly need. And he failed to roll anything, so he's destroyed anyway. And no points or no gold this time because he's already been killed once. So anyway, scratch 1 monster off your list. So after that dramatic turn of events, we've got the wizard whose name is Exodius. He's going to move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right up to the elf. And the elf, Dream Girl, GRRL, Dream Girl, she's going to go 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, way over here, and out of view of the camera. Let me adjust the camera. There we go. Just gotta tighten the old school camera. I guess I could just do this. Almost get her in view. Yeah. But I like having the view of the little dice box. Yeah, I need like 2 more cameras. Then I'll be set. All right, so the elf goes there. There's really nothing to do because we're not allowing searches except when there's furniture in the room or if you reveal a tile that's clearly potion, scroll, or equipment. Then they can search. Each hero can search each room once in those cases. So after that is the dwarf. 6. Getting a lot of doubles. Probably just continue on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Chaos player. Check the chat here. Yeah, feel free to chime in. I know Stryker has been contributing a lot. If anybody else wants to say anything, ask any questions, within reason, I'll try to respond to it in a timely manner. Oh, I just realized something. The name of the stream is wrong. It says Space Crusade Mission 1 Ultramarines. I am so wrong about that. I'm so sorry. This is not Space Crusade, everybody. Despite what it says, this is Hero Quest. See, I did it the opposite way, the other way. It was so yes, don't report the stream. I'm sorry. This is Hero Quest. Of course, spoilerific spoilers. Now you know what I planned. I planned to do Space Crusade also tonight, but I don't know if I'm going to get to it because honestly, this is going on longer than I planned. I mean, I did all this prep work and the best laid plans of mice and men. So here we go. Yeah, next time we'll do Space Crusade, or maybe I'll have time tomorrow. I don't know. Probably not, but we'll see. Distraction. After a hero declared an attack before rolling any dice. Well, yeah, there's really no way to use that in this particular scenario. So sometimes the good guys get a reprieve. Okay, so Barbarian, moving right along. I'll try to go a little quicker here. 5. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, open the door. And now the goal of this quest is not to escape until they've killed all the monsters. So he's not running out yet. 5. Okay, technically these should all be closed doors, but you just don't have enough closed doors to actually do that. All right, so he's discovered the staircase. I mean, we knew it was there all along. See how shiny it is? It's not matte finish enough for these lights. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I can do that. Of course, it'll just be super shiny somewhere else. Yeah, that more or less works. Into the shadows. Diffuse lighting is not perfect there. Okay, Barbarian. Wizard is next. So Exodius the Wizard after Griff the Barbarian. 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That bright halo of light. All right, and then the last, there's a bit of a delay here. Is it doing the strobe effect? No, it's just delayed. Yeah, so we're definitely playing Hero Quest tonight, not Space Crusade. I'm sorry about that. If I had time, I would definitely do Space Crusade, and that will be the next one. Of course, the last time I think I just played it on off hours. I wasn't even streaming, so I just threw it right up on XSC3 Hero Quest, Home of Hero Quest fans on YouTube. So if you don't see it here, like the next couple days, Space Crusade, just check us out on YouTube and you'll see it, or go to the Discord channel. Okay, 12 boxcars. So this is the dwarf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Taking the long way. Take the long way home. All the way up there, and yeah, I got my cables everywhere. Just this jury-rigged setup here. Yeah. Okay, Chaos Player. And in Space Crusade, when you run out of these cards, the bad guys win. But I didn't create any rule like that with this. Alarm. Play this card at the start of your turn. An alarm goes off alerting nearby monsters. I just realized, as soon as they crossed over here, I should have put the shadows out. I'm so sorry. I'm getting tired apparently. So yeah, as soon as they crossed over the meridian here, the middle, I was supposed to put out 8 tokens. So I'm going to do that now. Let me get this bright light out of there. Okay, so I need to put out 8. I'm going to have to move some of this stuff. So these are the remaining tokens. Now the pool that I'm drawing from is more than 32, just so you know. But I did that for the sake of variety. So I've got them all in this Scrabble type bag. This is actually a dice bag. So let's see, make corner of green. Okay, so we'll put one here, one here. Try not to look at them here. Okay, it's green. See, I see the corner of green, and I know that's okay. Pull it out. Yep. See, just like Space Crusade, really. And you're supposed to put them out of sight, but once they come into sight, then you reveal what they are. But they move 5 before they're revealed. Oh, I saw that one, so I'm not. Okay, it's green. 2, 4, 6. Should be 2 more, and these will be the last ones. They'll be at the end of the quest. So put them down here. See there in that room. And the other one is probably going to be out of sight, but not out of mind. I keep seeing white. Needs to be green. Okay, that one I didn't see. So there's that last one. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? The heroes. Or Zargon. Wherever your loyalties lie. All right. Okay, so done all that. So I should be able to just go ahead and, let's see. You may open any one closed door on the board, reveal its contents. Well, I mean, that doesn't really matter. But let's just say, I mean, these are already open. Whatever. There's an open door. Yeah, because the whole process of revealing rooms doesn't really apply this one. So we're going to move the shadows. We'll just start farthest away from where we are. So 1, 2, opening the door. Wait a minute. Is it here? 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, even though I'm playing Hero Quest, I'm kind of playing it in the style of Space Crusade. It's kind of a hybrid type of thing. Okay, so that was 5. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the edge there. All right, so nobody really got into range of vision, line of sight. So we're back to the barbarian. Sorry, it's going to be a little harder to see the dice now. That was 10. I didn't change it. Okay, here. I think that'll work. Okay, so the barbarian, he's not going to run down the stairs yet. He's just going to go 1, 2. He's going around it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Opening the door. 8, 9, 10. Okay, so he's and open the secret door. So there he is, right there. Front of the secret door. Just lower the brightness here. Yeah, mood lighting. Okay, so he can see that guy, obviously. So flip it over. It's a goblin. Finally get a goblin. Little goblin. And he could see the other guy behind him, we'll say. So, oh, it's a tomb. So we get to pull out some furniture at long last. So I'll just go into the candy plastic container and pull this tomb out. It's funny, as I was getting the stuff out, I was opening stuff up, and one of the skulls, I dropped one of the skulls, one of these little tiny skulls from the unboxing, and I just now found it today. So there's actually 12 of them in there. So anyway, so we're just going to put the tomb right there. And can he see this one? I'm going to say yes, he can see it. And oh, it's a fireburst trap. Dun 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 dun. So that's going to go off on the chaos player's turn and attack everybody in the room with 3 attack dice. Let's see, is this tomb blocking the door? No, it's not. Okay. Okay, so it can only be disarmed with a Tempest, which the wizard has 2 of them now, but he's way over there. Yeah, the fireburst traps are from Wizards of Morcar. I decided I'd implement them because, oh, it's a moving trap. It might actually do something rather than a pit. I mean, the pit's not going to move underneath you with a spear trap. I guess a falling block trap could be a lot of trouble, but then you might get trapped forever. Just nuke the whole quest. Okay. So he found the goblin. He's going to go ahead and attack him. Or, you know what he could do? He could just block the door and leave the goblin to get blown up. But the door is technically open. So the goblin can just run out and escape. He's just going to attack him. Might as well. So that's 4 combat dice because he's using the battle axe. 3 skulls. Yeah. There's no way a goblin can defend against 3 skulls. Not in this universe. So he's dead. So that's 5, paltry 5 gold bounty for the barbarian. But he still earned it. All right. Dwarf. White dwarf. Six. Okay. 1, 2. Switch the cameras here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's in the corner there. And he can see this. And so, oh, it's a mummy. It's a mummy. Now, he might as well just go ahead and shoot him with a crossbow, which he has. That's 3 combat dice to attack. 2 skulls, and of course the mummy defends with 4. No defense. So he killed it. Killed the mummy, and he got 50 gold bounty. Add that to his character sheet. He lost that 50 earlier. Now he's got another 50 to make up for it. Now, since that monster is removed, he can see the shadow here. Equipment. So, okay. Now it's the chaos player's turn. Turn over the card, and it's a pit trap. Randomly pick a hero. That hero triggers an unseen pit trap. Place the tile underneath them. Despite precautions, you spring an unseen trap. Okay, well, there's 4 heroes, so we can get out our Dungeons and Dragons dice, right? Or rip off cheap. Well, I guess Gary Gygax didn't invent them, I don't think. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I think they just took existing designs and used them. So that's considered a 4-sided die. So we'll see. So which is going to be which? Okay, 1 will be the, just in order. So 1 will be the barbarian, 2 will be the wizard, 3 will be the elf, 4 will be the dwarf. So this is the one that gets the pit trap. So that's a 3. The one on top is considered the one that you read, so 3. And so it's the elf. She's gotten the short end this adventure for sure. Where are my tiles? Okay, so yes, we are gonna punch out. So for HeroQuest vibes, just listen very carefully. Yep, we punched it out. Okay, so she gets a pit trap underneath her, a yawning pit. She falls in, hits the bottom with a thud, turns her ankle or something. Okay, so she's down to 2 body points. This might be the time to use that potion, actually. Okay, so that was that. Now this fire burst should go off, damaging everything in the room with 3. Boom. But since the barbarian is safely outside, he's not affected. So that blows up, does nothing to anybody. Notice I did that before moving the monsters because that'd be the most beneficial. So I can walk in, huh? Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's in view. So what is it? It's the zombie. You could say, oh yeah, the zombie walks in and gets blown up. That would certainly be against Zargon. He'd have to play dumb for the bad guys. All right, so I'm just go ahead and use the mythic zombie for this time. I think she looks pretty cool with her kukri knife. Let's see, did she have enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, what does the zombie normally have? 5, 6, 7. Does anybody remember how many movement the zombie normally has? If you don't remember, I'm just going to go ahead and check the in here. Because that's where usually Oh, you know what? I don't have to even do that. I can just look at my classic monster cards because they're just sitting over here on the shelf doing nothing. Okay. Sorry, folks. I don't remember the undead creatures as much. So yeah, they have exactly 5 movement. So zombie doesn't get to move any extra. The reason I'm not looking at the monster cards is because we have a secret wandering monster. We don't know what it is. It's not a gargoyle, but other than that, we don't know. Okay, so the zombie only made it that far. These other creatures, Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, they're either going to get shot down by the, yeah, but why would they go for the dwarf? Let's see, how many squares away are they? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Well, they should attack the nearest monster. So this one, or I mean the nearest hero. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can see it, and it's a potion. Well, the potion's not going to attack him, unless it was poison, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's a fire burst. It's a fire burst, and it goes off this turn. So, boom. Yeah, it does. And now it'll go a distance of 6 squares, is what I decided ahead of time. You can barely see this. There. Now you can see it's a fire burst trap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's going to get hit. So it blows up, and it's the equivalent of 3 combat dice. He can't defend against it. He's just going to have to take his medicine, take his lumps. Oh, didn't do any damage. So somehow he avoided it. Maybe that potion was in the way or something. So it blew up. Didn't kill him. Didn't hurt him. But it could have. All right. So phew. Sigh of relief. Okay. So that appears to be all that the bad guys can do. It's kind of a long turn. Okay. Barbarian. Seven. It's going into the room. 1, 2, 3, attacking the zombie with his 4 combat dice for his battle axe. 2 skulls. And what did I say? Zombie defends with. I wanted to say they defend with 3. Ah, what do you know? I was right. It's like as they get more flesh on them, the undead move slower, but they defend and attack with more. And or attack with more. Okay. So we got 2 skulls, and they defend with 3. 2 skulls. Ah, didn't matter. She's dead. All right, so got 20 gold there. Bounty for the barbarian, 20. But see, the barbarian, I mean, he's a sentimental kind of guy. He's a good citizen, you know. He does what's right. So he sees that unused tomb there, and he's just gonna open it up, and he's gonna toss the killed monster in there, and you can't quite cram it closed, but you know, good enough. All right, nice and clean. Okay, so now we're gonna go for the wizard. 4. You didn't see me roll that. I wasn't cheating. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you should use Swift Wind, but doesn't give him move action move. It's yeah, just move. Okay. Elf. She still hasn't used her potion yet. 5. Coming out of the pit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. See, normally you can search a pit for treasure. I guess I didn't specify whether you can under these rules, so anyway, missed opportunity, but that's okay. So she couldn't get that far. Dwarf. 10. 1, 2, let's see, he could either get an equipment or a potion. Can always give it to someone. 3, 4, 5, 6. He's going to search for treasure and draw an equipment card. Dagger. Well, kind of the weakest thing he could get, but all right, fine. He's got a dagger. He didn't have one before. The wizard had one and threw it right away and lost it. I'll just write dagger on there. He's got 3 weapons now. And no, that doesn't mean he moves slower. In Hero Quest, there's no limit. Unless you want to impose one with your house rules. Okay, so now it's the Chaos player's turn. Oh, and I forgot again. So as soon as he got in this quadrant, I should have revealed. Or no, didn't I? Yeah, I did. I already revealed it. Okay. I forgot that I didn't forget. Okay, yeah. So they've wiped out all the monsters, so they can leave. They've won. They can leave. But they got to make it to the door alive. Miss. Your attack misses. Well, doesn't matter because there's nobody attacking. So when he closed the trash can lid on that zombie, he closed the lid on the quest. So, okay. Heroes. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wizard. That was a 4. Forgot to adjust the camera. Whoops, getting sloppy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the elf should get like a nice movement roll, and she can go get that potion she needs. 8. Or she'll just revive on the next quest with full health. But 9. I'm definitely gonna have to take a break after this. 9 to yeah. I mean, I could try to squeeze a Space Crusade in, but I mean, it's just getting so late. And I don't mean that to slight anybody that was waiting for that. I'm sorry. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Almost close enough to get it. I've decided that they have to stand on the square and then search to get it. Dwarf. You didn't see it again. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're getting that equipment out of there because that's been used up. It's been found. All right, Chaos player's turn. Lure of Chaos. Well, yeah, if I had any mercenaries that could be lured to chaos, that would have happened. But not. It's kind of anticlimactic. 8. All right, first one to leave the quest. You should get some kind of bonus for that. He would in the original version of the maze. 1, 2, 3. He leaves the quest. Runs down the stairs, and so he collected. Just look at his messy character sheet there. So he collected 80, 90, 105, 125. That's it. Yeah, 125. Still, that's pretty good. And he never even needed his powers, his combat cards. So actually, this was pretty easy. I mean, last time, with double the monsters, it was just a slaughter for the heroes. Now, it's not over yet. So hang on. Let's see if they all make it. All right. 6 for the wizard. 6 for the wizard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know. I could have just moved the cameras. But my table is kind of small. It's just a little card table, really. With some poster boards on top of it. Some foam core board. Always bored, never boring on YouTube. Check him out. He's a pretty good YouTuber. Does a lot of cool stuff, and he inspired me with some of the things he did actually, playing Space Crusade solo. All right, that was 8. 8 for the elf. She's gonna go on that square and search for treasure, which means she'll get to draw a potion. Of course, the potions can be used next time because it's Potion Hoarder Edition, North American style. Potion of Magic Resistance. Small blue bottle negates the effect of any damage causing spell cast on you. Well, that's not really going to happen in this particular type of game, but could be used later. It's only for the one drinking the... I mean, maybe you could consider the Fire Burst to be a magical trap, and so that would cause the problem. You know, I totally forgot that I could have searched that room with the tomb for treasure to get a card. So I'll have to remember that for the others. So Potion of Magic Resistance. All right. And remove the potion tile. Dwarf. Okay, the dwarf got 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just like I was saying. So he's going to search for treasure. Finally. No one searched for treasure yet to get a card. So let's see what he got. And yes, I have put some extra cards in here. Custom printed cards. Gem. Worth 50 gold coins. Okay. Accidentally mixed some artifacts in. Oops. Those should have been in the Spell Scrolls deck. Just making sure I don't have any other artifacts in there by mistake. Whoops. There's an artifact. Yeah, and then the one that was used. Rather than making a discard pile, I'm just putting it at the end. It's not going to fool anybody. So yeah, if you're trying to make your own custom cards that more or less match the remake, you want poker size and you want linen finish. And if you scan your originals to make the backs and everything, it's going to be really, really close. Just so it looks like it fits. I mean, don't try to sell it because that would be not cool. For your own personal use, I don't think they'll mind. Okay, so after the dwarf, oh, whoops. Chaos player. Forget about evil Uncle Zargon. Ambush. Play this if a hero moves around a corner or through a doorway. Well, he did move through a doorway. Place the quest wandering monster anywhere next to the hero. It attacks immediately. As you're walking, a monster stalks you and attacks. Okay, so the dwarf gets attacked, and let's see what that card was. I know, I feel like I'm doing like cheap magic tricks here. Pulling stuff out of bags. Palming dice. Flipping over cards. Is this your card? Still, if you can do that and you can do it well, that's awesome. Stage magicians. Doing what they do. Okay, so this was the card. It's been sitting here this whole time. What is the wandering monster in this quest? It's a mummy! One of the strongest monsters you could pick. So the wandering monster on this quest is the mummy. So we're just going to pull out a female mummy, and it's going to attack the dwarf, getting in his right in his face, right in his path. And as you can see, it attacks with 4. Or no, it attacks with 3. It moves 4, attacks with 3, defends with 4. I was like, oh no, I've been doing it wrong all this time. They changed it on me. But no. Attacks the dwarf with 3. It's like, give me a break. 1 skull. He defends with 2. He blocked it. Ka-ching. All right. Now it said it attacks immediately. Now I could still move the monster. And it's not worth any gold. 1, 2, 3, 4. So blocking his path, blocking his escape. All right, the barbarians are already out of the quest, so we don't have to worry about him. The wizard. The wizard really didn't even have to use any magic. So maybe this was too easy. Maybe I should have put out more than 8. So tweaking the difficulty here. Of course, these are beginner heroes as well. So 7 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Elf, Dream Girl, 3, 3. Wow. Let's see. Debris, 1, 2, 3. Dwarf. Now he can't search for treasure again, but he can go out there and try to fight. So that was 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's facing the mummy. Go ahead and roll his attack. Oh yeah, he's attacking with a broadsword. Not a battle axe, a broadsword. If I attacked with a battle axe last time, then I made a mistake, because the barbarian had it. The dwarf has a broadsword. 1 skull. I mean, I guess depending on how many skulls, I mean, you subtract or whatever, the extra. So 1 skull. So the mummy defends with 4. Blocked it. All right, chaos player's turn. See, when you've got a live chat, people can chime in, but when you're actually playing, people will be like, with a group, they'll be like, hey, you screwed up. Do it right. So the camera doesn't quite reach. It's like it needs a longer arm on it, boom or whatever you call it. Okay. So I need to draw another Zargon card here, another Chaos card. Chaos Frenzy. Store 1 lost body point to any 1 monster. Well, there's none alive to do that for them, so they get a reprieve. All right, Wizard. Roll to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can tell I'm not cheating, because why would I give myself 4 as a roll? That's a lousy roll. I did come up with a piece of equipment called the Rallying Horn that lets you roll 1 extra, and it has a chance of inspiring a wandered monster if you use it too much, but that's about it. But nobody has that in this quest. So 4 for the elf. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dwarf. Yeah, he's going to roll first because he's feeling confident. So we got 5. And now he's going to roll 3 to attack the mummy. He got 1 skull. Mummy defends with 4. So he's attacking him with a broadsword. Attacking her with a broadsword. All right, let's look at that closely. No defense. So she takes 1 damage. Put a little skull tile underneath her. Just the last bit of resistance. She's not worth any gold because she's just a wandering monster. Yeah, he can't really move past her. So, okay. All right, Chaos Player. Now, if I get to the bottom of the deck, I'll just reshuffle it and use them again. Okay. Map. Okay, pick an unexplored room. The map of you find a map with the full details of the dungeon. Well, there's only one more unexplored room, and that's not how it works. So, yeah, it's open, but you see everything in there already. So we're getting close to the end here, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us here in HeroQuest fans. I started earlier because I didn't want to be super tired here at the end, super late night game, but it is fun. I think it's definitely working out better this time, but it's a little too easy. Last time it was too hard. This time it's a little too easy. So I think I'll tweak the number of shadows once again. So before it was 16 per quadrant, now it's 8. So maybe somewhere in the between there is what is the sweet spot. But I think the extra stuff definitely helps. I mean, if you look at the board, there's only one piece of furniture, so we didn't have very much furniture this time. But we did get lots of potions and other things, which made it more interesting. So you play it again, and you've got some development. Okay, so the mummy is going to attack the dwarf, and she attacks with 3. So that's 1 skull. Dwarf defends with 2. Blocked it. Ka-ching. The mummy's going to run 1, 2, blocking the door, because that's about all she can do to hinder the heroes. All right, so now it's the wizard. Wizard's turn. 5. Yeah, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does he risk getting a wandering monster? Sure, why not? Might as well clean up when we got the chance. Because the way I did these homebrew rules is that only rooms with furniture can be searched for treasure. Normally that's not true. Normally you can search any room. Holy Water. And see, this is a homebrew card because I always thought Holy Water should be a treasure card, not an equipment. And that's how it was in the European original. So Holy Water is really useful. So the wizard's got the Holy Water vial. And after the wizard comes the elf. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like she's wearing plate armor or something. I mean, the figure is wearing armor, but I mean, it's not. She doesn't really have that piece of equipment. So after that is the dwarf. See, now the wizard could throw the holy water on the mummy, but he's not close enough yet, and the dwarf is probably going to get the kill first. So we'll see. 5. 1, 2. It's attacking with a broadsword. 3. 3 skulls. Yep, that might be all she wrote because she's only got 1 body left. She's gonna have to block all of them. No defense. So the mummy is destroyed. That's the last monster. There's no way we can get other monsters unless other people search and get them. So it's destroyed. No gold reward because it was just a wandering monster. All right, Chaos Player. Hoping for some whammies if you're a bad guy. Ruthless Attack. Rolls any black shields on a defensive roll. Not really. So it doesn't really apply. Okay. The wizard already searched, so he's going to move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into the final room there. Now the elf, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the room. Now she can search for treasure. Wandering monster. Ta-da! As you are searching, a monster stalks you and attacks. Zargon places the wandering monster on any square next to you. The monster attacks immediately. How could I have predicted that? All right, so there's a wandering monster, and of course, as we know, as it was revealed from the random draw, it is a mummy. So where's our mummy? He's going to walk like an Egyptian up to the elf. She just doesn't get a break. And attacks. And it doesn't zoom close enough to see the face of the mummy, but yeah. So it attacks her with the standard 3. All right, so we got 2 skulls. So now it's too close. She defends with 2. Blocked 1, and she gets hit by the other one. So she's down to 1. Again, she doesn't use the potion yet, because it is the North American version. She could use it any time. So the monster could move, since it's the Chaos players. Or no, Elf searched for treasure and got the wandering monster. So she's done. Now it's time for the dwarf. So the dwarf could come to the rescue. Yes, he can, because he's got the crossbow. Okay, so he got an 8. Get rid of the extreme zoom there. Okay, so 1, 2. He can actually see in the doorway, so he can shoot his crossbow right across the room. Aim straight for the mummy. 2 skulls. Mummy defends with 4. No defense, so it's dead. Killed it, no gold. Why, thank you. Don't mention it. All right. So now it's time for the Chaos player to move. Monster swap. Well, it doesn't matter because I need at least 2 monsters for that to actually work. So Wizard pretty much is guaranteed out of this, no matter what roll he got. So 1, 2, he's out of the quest. So the Wizard survived. So Exodius the Wizard. So he left with a Spell Scroll of Sleep, Holy Water. Didn't really use a lot of spells. He didn't get any gold. Now he still has the Potion of Frost Skin, which really ought to be given to the Barbarian for the next quest, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, he was really underutilized this quest. I mean, I pretty much held him back, but we really didn't have any strong monsters. The strongest monster we encountered was a mummy. So yeah, I definitely need to up the difficulty a little bit. I mean, this would be fine for like beginner players, but it wasn't that tough. Even though the elf kept getting bad rolls. All right, elf. Speaking of the elf, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. dwarf. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he's out of there. So the dwarf has completed a quest here. And the dwarf had 70 gold. He would have had another 50, but he lost it due to a card. He made off with a crossbow, a broadsword, and a dagger, in addition to his short sword. He didn't use any of his combat cards. He didn't have to. So yeah, made off pretty well. Chaos player's turn. The elf is all alone. If she dies, her stuff gets claimed by monsters. Tripped. Randomly pick one hero. Oh no! The hero must discard one potion. See, I waited too long to use it. You trip over a large tile and break one of your potions. And see, I didn't. I mean, I could have it's like, quickly use the potion. Use it. Use it. Use it. Nope. So that's what happens when you wait too long. So that potion, that healing potion, is gone. Good thing there's no chance for me to get hit by anything else. So that potion of rejuvenation, we're just gonna have to lose it. I mean, yeah, what if she'd lost the potion of magic resistance, but that's obviously the one she lost. I mean, yeah, we could roll the dice to see which one, but that's the one Zargon would have picked. You know it's true. So no potion of rejuvenation. It's really just like a healing D6 potion. So not that big of a loss, but still. Okay, so there's nothing else for the chaos player to do, so now the elf is going to roll her way out of there. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on. All right, chaos player gets one last chance to kill the elf. Chaos champion. Well, have to have a monster alive to do that. Would have been a good one. Okay. Elf rolls. Could be anything. Yeah. All right. Success. All right. So the elf survived barely. She got 30 gold. Spell Scroll of Tempest, Potion of Magic Resistance, and yeah, that was pretty much it. You know what? I forgot to roll for her. I forgot to use her rock skin in the last time she had to defend. But the thing is, she didn't die, so I guess, yeah. It's harder to keep track of when you're keeping track of all the heroes, but anyway. So that's that. That was Hero Quest, playing with some custom rules. Thanks everybody. So anybody have any questions here at the end? I was going to do a quick little just wrap up here, talking about the Frozen Horror Barbarian Quest pack. So let me just stop the stream right here, but then I'm going to start it right back up again to do my closing comments. So thanks everybody for sticking around. Thanks for joining us here in Hero Quest fans. All right, we will be right back. Thanks.